Hello, welcome back. Just having a little sip of drink there. Just coming off of a very confusing, strange, unique Le Mans race. And just gonna get myself more set up here. Should have a much different race in our hands, but I hear it's also chaotic. Also a brilliant track. Arshia was saying Kyoto Tire Eating Park. That's accurate. And Turdy loves the track, so it is gorgeous. Right. It is a beautiful flow indeed. I'm pretty bummed I missed this one. This is one of my tracks I voted in the Patreon. Good plug for Patreon. We do one of the tracks each season is voted on by Patreon members for supporting the league, and it's a gorgeous track, and I love it. And I've been trying to get this track in for a few seasons, and of course I get sick an hour before the race starts. So we absolutely love it. So that was 2 races in a row for me missed, and now I'm back 3 seasons in a row. Yeah, fair. I don't remember if I even was Patreon before 3 seasons, but at least the last 2 seasons I've voted for this. Very unique track. It's 2 tracks combined into one. It's Yamagiwa and Miyabi. They're 2 tracks you can race on individually, and we've done the individual tracks. Somebody corrected me, but I don't think ALR's done the full track for Group 3. I'm not totally sure on that, but at least in my experience, we never even looked at this track as a complete thing. We've done Yamagiwa for a special event not too long ago. So anyway, let's get rolling here. I need to pull up qualifying results. So I don't where's Dirty? There's Dirty. So actually I didn't even go over the updated results from last round, which I meant to do. I have up on my computer. Real quickly, Turdy is still our championship leader with a P2 and P4, 173 points, and in the 911 here. He's also pole position for this race. He's 7 points up on Skittles / Samurais, who had a brilliant last round with a P1 and then P2. Clockhouse in P3, just only 42 points behind that, which makes his effort at Le Mans more questionable, because I don't understand that, being in P3, and now he's only 7 points ahead of Name. These are post-stewards, by the way. Name in P4, Clouds in P5, Emil / Senna in P6. My cat is screaming at me. Hello? Hey, buddy. Hello. You've been sleeping for the last hour, so welcome back. Schumacher P7, Reese P8, Lord Hands P9, M. Dimmitt P10, Moncton P11, Point P12. He's changed his name here to HK. I don't think he's in this race actually. Hello, Zoro. Hi. He wants a lot of attention right now, so I have to do 2 things at once. Fitzino, our reserve in P13. Supercracker missed last round there at week 6. P15. Excuse my cat rubbing the microphone. Hey, buddy. Oh boy. Inorganic in P16, and right, so Can I have my arm back? Please. Please. Come on, buddy. There we go. You're done. Qualifying. So our championship leader here, Turdy, in pole position with a 2-minute 17.071. Pretty good qualifying time. That actually is just faster than our Tier 6 current championship leader, Jin, my teammate. At least we're P1 and P2 at the moment. Emdemit here in P2 after a pretty rough run at Le Mans, despite some good pace, just some mistakes here and there. He had a 2-minute 17.135, so just a little under a tenth back. Ethan, who debuted and absolutely blew away. I keep saying debuted. Is that correct? Yes, debuted. Debuted with a P5 and P1 in the 2 races at Le Mans the week prior. For P3 there, yeah, and he was only 9 thousandths behind Emdemit. So that's an incredibly close P2, P3 right there. Quackhouse, I imagine, is trying to keep his current P3 in overall in the standings with a P4 in this quali, and he was a little bit more of a gap there, the 17.788, so about 6 tenths back. Lord Hands in the 911 P5, Clouds in the SLS P6, Reese P7, Samurai's P8, HK P9, Inorganic P10, Munkin P11, Schumacher P12, Senna P13, and Name to wrap us up with P14. And let's get rolling. 5 lights out and away we go here for round 7 Kyoto. Quackhouse with a ripper here on the outside, or on the inside, sorry, of this turn 1, and he's going to jump up 2 spots in front of Emdemit and Turdy for an absolute stellar start here. Complete night and day difference between his lack of carrying at Le Mans and us being here at Kyoto. So Turdy will hold P2, Emdemit getting a lot of pressure here from Ethan in P4, and Ethan's going to take the inside in a better line with Clouds right behind him. Emdemit really struggling here at the start. Oh, Lord Hand's getting knocked off into the wall somehow there. A lot going on. Oh. Huh? That was bizarre. I want to blame GT for this. I don't know how the car... I don't know what happened. We're just gonna keep on moving. I think something happened there. Weird mistake. Turdy really pushing Quackhouse here from P2. And Ethan here with a nice battle with Clouds as we go into the back half of this lap. It's quite a long lap, and this is a lot of really high-speed, tight turns, so indeed is quite the tire shredder. Just a stupid mistake. Yeah, fair enough. It looked like the physics kind of did like a weird bit there, because it kind of looks like it flew off, like flew off the track, like a tiny bit of contact, but it's okay. Just a sprint. Half looking in your mirrors. I know that feeling. A little too much turning and a little too much looking backwards. It's tough not to keep proper focus on an opening lap, especially when you have so many guys directly behind you. Cloud's moving up a good few spots here, and now find himself behind Quackhouse. So Team SLS is looking for a much better Kyoto drive here. What happened? What happened? My brain gets distracted very easily. Quackhouse trying to take the turn a little bit too fast, and then the exit is just for some reason quite poor, and that L11 really shot off in the exit there. So that's Turdy back in P1, very notably. So now the two SLSs are together, with Ethan not too far behind, and Endement as well, and the rest of the pack. So you space out bit by bit. Fortunately, two Fords here, probably not looking at a great track for their car, as contrasted by the previous round at Le Mans, which was probably the best track for that car, period, outside of Road X. Big yawn there. Yeah, that chicane at the end is brutal. That's definitely part I struggle on quite a bit myself. It's the timing of it. It's a tough one. And yeah, you do it well, you do it not maybe well until it goes horribly wrong, and then all those other not great entries into the chicane and exits look pretty damn good when you're staring at a wall. Little pink flare here. We got a little anime theme for a little poppin' pink. It's a pretty clean car. I quite like this. But there's a race to focus on. Seeing loads of purple sectors as we're only on the second lap, and most people are gonna beat that time. Turdy looking very nice and smooth. That mid-powered rear-wheel-driven car. And Endement a little bit on the curb, and hits the grass a little bit on the exit, which is going to allow Ethan to close that gap a little bit, put a lot of pressure into a chicane that you don't want pressure on. I do love that livery. That's appropriate, certainly appropriate for this track. The pink pops out quite nicely. Both BMWs, not just the not named this time around, but yeah, props to livery there. It's quite good looking. Not too much going on at the moment. A lot of space between cars. I think everyone's just trying to get settled. And HK gets on the curb, and Lord Hands tries to react in time. And that is two cars sent near to the back. Unfortunately, there for both of them. That's just a very unfortunate way to go. Especially for how nice that livery is. So we have HK in name, and name is trying to give himself. We will. I think he got a little too excited on the exit, and yep. Senna went a little wide, and you were going a little bit too fast. That was a brilliant turnaround, and I love that. Poor Lord Hands. Oh man, getting the real brunt of that, because there's not much you can do. And then Name just trying to give HK, his teammate, way too much space on the wall, finding the wall instead. Yeah, the wall stopped you. Tokyo drift skills. Yeah, there we go. Brilliant stuff. It's just, yeah. It's how it is sometimes. It's okay. So, a good bit left in this race. A little 9 minutes remaining on the timer. And a whole 40-minute feature to follow. So, bear with us. I think there's still a lot of good driving remaining. I know there's probably some stuff. Is the feature problematic again, or is it the sprint chat? I didn't look at stewards, I didn't look at anything. I just know there's, I think, a little bit of, I got a little tip off from the title of the feature. But having two different people upload is, I don't know. Turdy's still out well in P1. Cloud's unfortunately making a little mistake through the final chicane, and that's going to drop him some time and a spot to Emdemit as he loses sight of his teammate Quackhouse, who's still in P2. And his tires are too hot, and he's going to lose everything right there, unfortunately, for that SLS. And dropping down to P8, P10. That's not a good way to go in a sprint. I did not notice that there are some cars on medium tires, and they're, at least from the sample size to the back, are all struggling. Dirty tires and desperation to keep position was my downfall, says Clouds. And yeah, I think that's a situation we can all relate to. It's happened to all of us. Just push a little bit, like, God, come on, let's get this back. And Lord Hands, Clouds says Clouds tires like I like my women, hot and dirty. That's the chat, you know. My girlfriend walks past me right as I say that. A little bit of judgmental look from that one. I didn't say it. Can hear you anyway. Turdy P1, Quackhouse P2, Emdemit P3 at the moment. 6.5 minutes left. I'm not in trouble, you might be in trouble. I've said worse things, I guess. As she shakes her head, yep. And yeah. Lord Hand says, hope the doghouse has 2 keys. What can I say? What can I say? I can't hear anything with the headphones. I'm in the doghouse. Luckily I got a sprint race to finish and a feature before I face that consequence. Let's see how that goes for me. So, a lot to do today. I have to prepare for tomorrow, which I am quite behind on, despite my original plan. And Lord Hands here trying to make up some spots with a good challenge on name in the BMW in front. And he'll take a little bit of a late draft. Going on the outside, it looks like he'll try to take that faster line out of turn 1. He might be able to do that. He's going to put a lot of pressure on in these 2 windy uphill turns. Name is getting a little bit of distance there, so not feeling the pressure too much at the moment. So inorganic in the BRZ should be much better run for him, much better track see how that tire wear holds up for him at the end, as we have already burnt through tires here for this SLS. Obviously, Collins had a huge incident earlier, and that didn't contribute to his tire wear battle at all. HK as well, doing a nice pirouette about 2 laps ago, and still in P6, so that's pretty good go. Ethan here really feeling pressure from Reese in the Audi R8. Lord Hand said, I told Name that he needs a more interesting rear on his car. I kind of agree. It's just black. I feel like for a night race, like if we had a really, really dark race, this would be deadly. I do like the livery though, but it is maybe a little sticker or something on the back to break it up. But I think that midnight black was the intention. A little spooky. Just the lights popping up pretty much. Ethan catching a little grass, but it's still a great exit there, as that Mazda just really loves to fly right out of turns with some really incredible speed. Backhouse about to lose his front right tire completely on this turn 1 as we go into what's going to be the probably penultimate lap of this race. Yep, and there goes his grip. It is all gone from that front right, and that front right is feeling a lot of pressure. I've been doing a little bit better on tires, and Turdy just doing Turdy things. Good 10 seconds up front or whatever. Little BRZ chasing down the M6. Yeah, HK says after lap 5, some cars were just surviving rather than racing. LOL. Yeah, no, that's definitely kind of the MO of this track, and I'm interested to see how many people tried hards. I'm not going to say tried and failed immediately because anything can happen, but hard tires are probably seem like a safer bet than mediums and maybe a pair of softs, but yeah, the pace on hards is insane. So the future races are going to be a real sweaty battle, I think, in regards to tire wear, but everybody's struggling pretty equally. So it is a battle of surviving. And Senna, surprisingly, I think, on mediums in the 650S, which is quite strong on tire wear, and despite we're seeing 2 Fords here who have mediums and no front right tires, Reese has probably the most of the different drive of the Audi. He's going to wear that rear right a bit more, obviously, so he's got a front right but no rear right. I also like this livery. This is pretty nice. The red to black is clean, very, very clean. We don't look at the BRZ enough because as much as I want to like this car, it is not a good car for this purpose of driving. Lord Hand said hards were like ice cubes. Yeah. They're just, it's just too hard to, they'll might last a little bit, but, Reese's logo. Oh, that was this insane car. I've been a huge fan of this car since the beginning. And it's too bad we're missing, Cracker for 2 rounds. That's the same 2 rounds I did. Beautiful car. But a bit of contact and a wall there, which... Oh, that's the end of that for Reese, I think. Name just flying through in that BMW. In organic, catching a little bit of grass. Maybe try to cool off that front right tire a little bit before he hits this final set of turns. Yamagiwa. I think I have the tracks right. Little battle here. We do need to go up front because we are looking at finishing these lap with this final lap with Turdy. With no tires at all on his right side. No grip. But a huge lead and a huge sprint win here for our current Drivers' Championship leader here for Tier 6. Dimmitt looking pretty good as well. I think Emma Dimmitt might be a better shot there for future race for him and Ethan as well. That Mazda is very fast in his hands. Quackow is going to be the better because of quite a big incident earlier with clouds. Turdy P1, M Dimmitt P2, Ethan P3, Quackow's P4. A little bit of a battle here. Let's see if any position changes on this last turn. It looks like we're going to be clean enough all around. Yep. To keep. So that'll be HK in P5. Lord Hands P6, Inorganic P7, Name in P8, Clouds in the SLS P9, Samurais, I think quite a big incident earlier, P10. Just these Fords are going to really struggle here. Schumacher P11, Reese P12 with a very close behind Munkin and Senna in P14. I'm just going to get a look. So medium, medium, soft, medium, soft, soft, medium. So it's just that M6 there up front. So only one of the M6s did well on mediums, but also had a big incident. So I think Name could have had a better race than I anticipated to start with because of the medium tires. I didn't really think those would be too very, very effective at all in a sprint. But proper job there. And we'll move on to our 40-minute feature race. Yeah, the M6 is front right. Yeah, I did a fair amount of driving practice for Kyoto, and yeah, that front right just. I feel like some laps, some stints, I would go out and I'd have like four laps maybe of tires, that front right tire, and then some other stints I'd go out and it'd be like 8 laps, 9 laps maybe, and still be surviving somehow. I don't know what I was doing, which is not good. Anyway, so we have a reversed grid order of the sprint results. That's going to put our championship leader, Turdy, and sprint winner in the back. So yeah, let's get rolling. Wait, tires. Hards. I don't know if the Ford had another option on tires. I don't know enough to say, but Audi also on hards. The other Ford, both Fords on hards. Samurais on mediums. I think that's smart. Clouds on softs. That is bold. Name on mediums. Inorganic also on hards. That BRZ is good on tires. So I think I would have chanced mediums. Lord Hands on mediums. HK mediums. Quackhouse on softs as well. So both SLS on softs. So both on the same. Oh, we're going to do a 3-stop. Yeah, okay, or 2-stop. Okay, that makes. I forgot that existed. Just not used to having many 2-stop races work in our format. So okay, so it's not as clear cut. I imagine these hard tire drivers are gonna be going for the traditional 1-stop, but HK says he only lasted 20 minutes into the race. So is that a DQ or disconnect? Server disconnect or something? these lovely GT things. We'll get started here in our feature race. Lap 1 of many. Reese getting pretty good start here on Munkin. The console keeps turning off. That is very frustrating. And unfortunate because they made for a good race. Those hard tires are so slippery. Another rage quit. I would say doubtful, but I know my guy. I know my guy pretty well. So big slip already on the hard tires. Munkin is really struggling here, and Schumacher, his teammate, and Samurai's, who's on those medium tires, and probably will get a. You gotta turn your settings. What on earth is happening? What is happening, guys? What is this? Lads, come on. Oh, fuck's sake. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Do you have the auto off setting off? That makes sense. Turdy already in P8, which is insane. We're just halfway through the lap, and first lap, and we're similar to Clouds at Le Mans, going from I think P12 to P6, just immediately off the bat, which is insane. And I think Turdy really wants to win this drivers' championship, and I think that's very clear. So lost position there, but he'll gain it right back. And we have some struggling Fords in front of him, so I think that'll be another position for him soon. But that'll be actually Lord Hands on the 911, who messes up just slightly that final chicane of lap 1. And this is just a very, very long and gritty lap 1 here. And I'm glad I don't have to say lap 1 again for this race. Senna in the medium tires in this McLaren, gonna lead the pack for now. And Clouds is probably 6 or 7 seconds back already. So that should give Senna some nice peace of mind to keep rolling for this race. He's on medium tires too, so that could bode well if he can keep that distance. So both SLSs on soft tires, but on a 2-stop plan. So strategies are going to be very interesting here, and that's something I'm very much looking forward to seeing how it turns out. And name. I'm getting a little late break there, trying to get into Lord Hands' area a little more, but Lord Hands will be nice and clean. Schumacher's really struggling on those hard tires, and I think it's just a matter of time before we start dropping more positions. It's just, yeah, hard tires are so garbage. They're bad. This is a tricky race, though, from a tires perspective, so I can't really blame anybody for trying things and seeing how it all turns out. I didn't race, so I don't know. Samurai's in the back, I think that's it. Lap 1. Reese also on the hards, so battle the 2 hards here. Let's see if Emdemic can take advantage of the tire compound situation. Might be able to, as these 2 are getting a lot of contact in. I think Emdemic might have wanted to stay on the inside of that turn. A little more, a lot of small bits of contact being exchanged. but MDimit will get past Reese on the middle of the exit. But this is going to be a battle, a drag race down with Schumacher giving the assistance there to MDimit with a draft. But it won't do too much for MDimit, as the McLaren really just can't keep up top speed wise, which is probably going to be his big issue here. And we also keep track of Lord Hans, who's not too far behind, and HK not too far behind him in this battle to get through the midfield. Samurai's is going to be playing the long game here to get back into more familiar territory. Well, MDimit with a really great move there, catching Reese off guard on mid-turn and flying away at that. Definitely had more pace. It was just a matter of getting past at some point. A little gap between Schumacher and Name. Two SLSs finding each other yet again, so P1 and P2 for the team that struggled quite a bit last round overall. And as long as Senna can keep this distance on the two SLSs on soft tires, I do think he's going to be in a great position to potentially win this race. And he's kind of flirted with that prospect a few times, and some kind of incident usually ends the day for him a little bit. But I think he's really doing well, for considering the drop off for these soft tires will be about now, and he still has a good few laps on that medium set to kind of maximize his stint. Just really love that clean air. Turdy currently with the fastest lap on track with 2:18.1. Check all times again. So just a second and 10th back on his pole position time there. Ethan getting past Clouds rather convincingly. And Clouds, I think, is struggling a little bit as Turdy gets past pretty quickly as well. And Turdy being on the inside is gonna do great things for him as Clouds tries to keep off the grass on these now struggling soft tires. Reese and MDimit yet again at it, as Reese, I think, caught up to MDimit after he kind of flew past him. So maybe a small mistake there. Schumacher on the Ford, playing a little too comfortable with those curbs, and Lord Hans flies past him. HK almost does as well, but Schumacher has just a little bit too much ownership of the turn for HK to really get through. Samurai's up now 2 positions from his early struggles. Well, maybe 2 positions. It should be, yep, it'll be 2 positions now with Lunkin going, but on the outside under the grass. Spam text. I hate when you get those like spam text. It's like you have a delivery coming tomorrow. It's like I actually do, but you don't know that. And then there's MDimit again, getting a nice lead on Reese. So hopefully he can keep his position this time around. the tire drop off on the softs has happened, and they're gonna have to be thinking about pitting rather soon to make this two-stop pit work. 2 pit stops work. Turdy playing the last of first potential game here. HK says, Schumacher literally drained my tires just battling him. That is the kind of, yeah, this is the kind of race this is. It's one of them where you battle and kind of take the life out of yourself a little bit, and the rest of the race you're kind of trying to play catch up and not destroy your tires at the same time. It's a really difficult task. I think this is one of those like special tracks that like presents a much different type of challenge than what we traditionally see at something like Spa or I don't know, anywhere honestly. Blue Moon's gonna be a whole other type of race than these last 2 rounds. That'll be Quackhouse into pits, first one on lap 5, first of the field to go in. Also with Clouds, so the two teammates will be sticking together on strategy, at least so far. Interesting though is Clouds had not burned nearly as much fuel as Quackhouse has, so it might have some implications. Later on, that'll give Clouds, well, a slightly shorter pit stop, and might get him gain some time on his teammate there. It's only 2, I believe, right? They come out pretty close together, despite Quackhouse being good few seconds in front. Earlier, Clouds going to catch a bit of grass on the exit. And these both will be trying to catch Inorganic here, who's on the hard tires in that BRZ, and that, yeah, that's just painful to see, I think. HK really still battling Schumacher, still burning the hell out of those tires. Yeah, Lord Hand says this race was great because of the different strategies, and yeah, I agree. Like it's something that we, yeah, again, we don't see a lot. There's like a lot of different tire strategies. It's always the medium soft. That's the fastest nearly every single time. I think last season we had one race where it was not a one-stop traditional medium soft. Some people pulled off a 2-stop, and it's pretty surprising. But as an Alsax, yeah, this is just one. It's just like a very unique circuit, being two tracks combined to one. And it makes for a good race, I think. I do have to say, I like if I have my tracks together, or remember correctly, I think it's, the first bit is Yamagiwa, and I think that's my favorite of the 2. Miyabi's interesting, but those like long, like double apex turns are mess with me a little bit too much. Turdy and Ethan coming in off medium tires. Might be seeing a 2-stopper here as well. Imagine they're going on hards. Softs, so this will be a 2-stop definitely for Turdy. Ethan staying on medium, so that'll be a 2-stop for him. Name coming in, and Lord Hands. Both going to mediums, I believe. A little bit of refueling. So that'll leave us still with Senna out front. The right hand, Lord Hands says the right hand hairpin with the change in camber was awful. And yeah, I agree. That one right there, I think. This is because the exit is like a bit tighter than you feel comfortable doing, and you kind of, at least for myself, like I would not correct myself out of the turn as much as I needed to, because it felt like I was okay. The camber catches you off, and you're just like, screwed. Yep. Yep, that one. Yeah, it's, and the downhill, it's kind of a funny braking zone. I would, like, the first probably 15 laps practice here at Kyoto, I was braking so late into that, into the sharp right-hander, and then just trying to not lose so much speed on the exit, and you end up overcompensating, and it just gets worse. The McLaren is one of the best cars, probably, if not the best, competitive Group 3 car on tires, so we're definitely going to see the traditional two-stop, or one-stop, medium soft here with Senna. And he is a huge lead at the moment, absolutely huge lead, and he's not going to have to pit for a while if he so chooses. He can probably get another 10 minutes. He could probably hit the 25th minute on these tires and not lose too much time. Assuming of course that everything goes smoothly to that point. And Emdem P2, also on McLaren. It's very much a McLaren track, I think. Mainly because of the tire, how it treats tire wear. It's just so good on it. And Turdy on fresh softs, now chasing Emdem. Yeah, that's true, Lord Hands. There is a short pit lane, which does make it much more viable. But when you have these two guys up in front, that is a tough, still a tough race. These McLarens are just so nice on tires. Emdem is definitely struggling a bit more on tires than Senna, so he will be pitting earlier. But I think if Senna keeps things smooth, that wasn't so smooth, but Turdy now passing Emdem into the corner we were talking so much about on the last lap. And so the I think we started with 15, so P15, P14 to P2, only 8 laps in. And he's the only guy behind someone who has not pitted yet, which I think says a lot about Turdy's performance in this tier this season. It's quite good, and gonna be quite scary wherever he ends up next season. I think we'll have a pretty competitive driver here. We'll have a few of these drivers moving up. A few will stay. I don't know what the tier situation is for next season. Ross will be announcing those details after the season. Quite good. Yeah, I'm not trying to blow our man up too much. We still have a lot of race left and a whole round. To be fair, he doesn't have. I'm not going to comment because I do know the situation for points next at the end of this round, but and you all do too. But for maybe 1 or 2 people that don't know who watch the stream, I will stay mum on that. Emdem coming into pits, so the first McLaren in. Interesting, I think. Maybe he was just struggling too much on that set, so maybe he decided that it was best to just come in. I imagine he's putting on softs. Mediums. Softs, okay, that's fine. It was very late for updating the tire there. So that kind of shows dropping out to P12 from P2 there, or P3 rather. I do need to pay attention more what's going on in the back or the midfield, because there's a lot going on. Lord Hands is really improving his exits, I think, throughout the season, because I'm seeing him just fly. Oh, that's HK into the wall. Oh, unfortunate, I think. Actually, about the time where he loses his console as well. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Tires are pretty burnt up, I would say. Schumacher on Lord Hands, Lord Hands has gained himself back a good few positions here this lap. Quite a good charge. Name with a bit of a gap in front of him to Quackhouse, and an even greater gap there to Reese, who is not pitted yet. Don't think Ethan has either. Maybe, no, yeah, 2 laps ago you did. No, you Reese did. It's gonna be hard to keep track of pits for this race. But Senna's still very confidently out in front, and definitely is not pitted yet. It still has a good bit of life in those medium tires, which I'm honestly impressed by. That's clear air and clean air and a very good car for tires and tire wear for you. Which honestly almost makes this car a little bit OP here. And I didn't really look at the results for the other tiers for this round because I've been all over the place and I'm behind and all that kind of fun stuff. Lord Hand says, I can attribute a lot of my improvement on getting VR a couple of weeks into the season. Fair? I can imagine that's a big help. I haven't used the VR headset or anything. I don't know anything about it to be fair. I know it's quite good. I know it's really fun. It's one of those things I hope to get soon. I had a massive brake pedal issue for a long time where it just flickered and I couldn't clean it. Well, I cleaned it a few times and it just never fixed itself. And finally, I got really fed up with it at the end of last season, and so I eventually got around to doing a more proper job, I guess. I think I'm doing something wrong myself, so what do I mean myself to blame? Senna here is just bleeding time as I'm blabbing away about my brake problems, and no longer has any sort of lead on Turdy, who is only a few feet behind him. That was huge, and I might have just been looking at something else, but Senna not having a good time here at all. He's really struggling. And Turdy is gonna go on the inside and take P1 off of Senna. So continuing his incredible streak so far, and Senna's going to go in the pit, as I think, it was pretty understandable there if he's struggling that much on those tires. So the last McLaren, I think the last to pit at all. No, except for the hard tires. They're just kind of struggling. But yeah, having a flickering brake pedal for 2.5 seasons or something is bad. And then you get too used to it and you're not doing anything about it. But yeah, my pace got much better and more consistent when I fixed that problem. For fuel reasons, we're gonna have our 2 Fords come in, 2 of our 4 Fords come in for softs, 3 of our Fords, maybe our 4th. Well, no, Samurai's pitted already, so he's going to stay out and on those soft tires. So 3 of our Ford. It's a BRZ. It's not a Ford. I don't know what I'm talking about. Emdiment chasing down Name in the BMW, and he's going to go on the outside as we go on this really quick downhill part into the sharp right-hander, and Emdiment on the outside. And we are still side by side here. Emdiment's going to take the inside and get the better line at the end of that little battle there. So that'll be a P6 for now for Emdiment. with the name, definitely should point out that this does not have his tires anymore, so this is going to be a struggle the last lap or two before he comes back to pit. Ethan's still putting on some absolutely brilliant pace. Bringing some absolute pace to this tier for his first two rounds, and finds himself in P2 yet again with the Drivers' Champion leader, Turdy, leading the pack. So we have a good few gaps here, kind of groupings of cars. And the ones who chose hard tires are unfortunately seeing kind of the result of that. This will be the last lap for Turdy here before he comes to pit. Ethan's not too far behind him, so really depending on how our outlaps are from our next pit stops, we'll see how this goes. Because Ethan's going to pit on the following lap for fuel and tires as well, probably by that point. I think we do have a nice clear-cut battle here for our top two positions here. We'll see how that goes. I think the SLS boys will have something to say about that, but I think we'll be pitting here as well for Quackhouse fairly shortly. Those tires are definitely struggling too. Oh no, that gap is massive. I'm not sure if Ethan will be able to make another lap on that fuel tank, so Ethan might be coming in as well. Very much being on the red. Yeah, I have it's my birthday not too long ago, and a little bit of money. I'm contemplating saving that up for VR, the VR2, because I think that would just be the coolest thing ever. But it's probably that or Pokemon cards. That's just the life I live. Another expensive hobby for me. Of my two hobbies, essentially now. Turdy into pit. And Ethan into pit as well, as yeah, he definitely didn't have enough fuel to finish that this long 2-minute 20-second lap typically. I'm interested to see what tires we go on here. You're doing two stoppers, so you can use anything as long as they switched last time around. And I'm not keeping track because I have the attention span of a squirrel. Turdy is already out, and he will keep P1 for now. And Ethan's going to be coming out with Senna not too far behind, but those fresh tires will do him quite well to finish this race off with. Yeah, it looks like that gap. Ethan had a little bit more fueling to do than Turdy. Hopefully Turdy has enough fuel to finish the race. I don't remember how the fuel tank is with that car. And we'll see our next group to pit will be Cloud's Name and Lord Hands. Lord Hands out first. And then Cloud's and Name. Samurai is in behind them off his soft for his last pit stop. And Inorganic is going to pass him here on the straight, I think. To fuel, no fueling for him, so that'll be a very close battle here. The double strat, Lord Hands, 666. We have Emdivit here, who's been up front in the top 5 pretty much the entire race. Has put on a pretty good show. Is not too far behind his teammate Senna in P3. Two McLaren lads who currently, as of end of last round, are P3 in Constructors Championship, but by a good margin there, with the SLS team really putting on a good push this season. Actually, I have to agree there with Lord Hands. When you have the VR, you can't see the leaderboard, but it does distract me a bit. And the more distractions I have, the worse I am. I have very severe ADHD, and anything can distract me. Literally anything. So focus is kind of key. And if I don't have anything to look at on screen, then I won't be thinking about it too much. Yeah, fair. Checking mirrors too much as well. No problem. I don't usually look back too much. It's more of a try to just keep my eye on the radar or the track map, depending on the track, or whatever feels more comfortable. All good to go. So everyone's in front of me. What hands? Man. Not this season. Okay. I don't wanna just look at the standings. All I gotta say. I don't wanna be cocky, but I'm not checking my mirrors too much. Last season, yeah. I was having a really bad time last season. But I'll blame that on my brakes and my head. This season, I just missed 2 rounds in a row. Wow. Really, we're gonna go there? I didn't race, so no result equals heavy neutral. And the fact that I missed 2 races and I'm only 7 points back, I think, on P1, I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. I don't usually do too well in this league or any racing, so I'll take it. Okay, I'm just doing my best out here. And trust me, when the race started on Monday, this Kyoto race, I was in bed half asleep because I was like coming home from work and I was waiting to clock out, and it just hit me like a freight train, and I went to the shop and I was okay, and then I left the shop and I was biking home and it got so much worse. And believe me, I push a lot of things out of my way to race, which is not a great thing always. So yeah, I was in no shape to touch the wheel or do anything. I just slept for a nice half a day and try to catch up. Got him. Yeah. We'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be the big test. I'm a little scared because my teammate Jin, who's ahead of me, he needs to finish second twice to clean it up. If he does second place in both rounds, then that's the end for me. So I don't know. When the races that I've been in, he hasn't been second. So he's a very good driver, and I respect him a lot. So, but I'm definitely gonna be sweating today and tomorrow for team orders. Well, we kind of agreed that in a situation where we're battling out for the championship, that it would just be a go for it kind of deal. Obviously, we're playing smooth and clean and all that, but in any situation where I'm battling him for P2 tomorrow or something like that, it's gonna be war. It's gonna be a war. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. I've never been in this position because I'm usually dog shit, and not doesn't get too well for me. So, everyone's so spread out except for these two, so I can just chilling. Lord Hands chasing down Nain on the start-finish straight in the beginning of lap 16. We have probably 2 more laps left in this race. 1 past the timer. But yeah, and I'm excited to see how this finishes up. Obviously, we know how to no risk. There's plenty of risk. I don't know what is the deal behind us. We don't have post words yet. I don't think we even had anything. I'm actually 10 points back, so that makes more sense. And the third place is only 3 points back on me now, so that's Higgsy, and SD's only 8 points back on him, so it is pretty tight. We do have a very exciting round tomorrow. Just adds on to the pressure, and hopefully I can get off work at time where I'm not stressing out. I come back from work and I change and I get on the wheel and I drive. The race starts like 10 minutes after I get home. It's not very fun. And this it's kind of a fun track. Blue Moon is interesting. It's a bit different. It's like this format too. Probably not my favorite format of Blue Moon, but it's, I think the only Group 3 appropriate one. Yeah, it should be a good race in this tier as well, but I think we already have pretty much all but one Drivers' Championship. This fellow here. Although I think if Ethan joined us earlier on, I think he might have been very well in contention for that championship, but only 2 races in, and it's quite a job well done. So hopefully stick around for another season and get a full season of quick driving. Still very close. Lord Hands and Nam are just battling it out until the very end. Keep our eye here. Because our field is extremely spread out right now. It is quite notable that the back 4 have all started on hard tires. Hopefully a lesson learned, but I think I'm scared. Lord Hand says we had a moment, and then immediately things start to get a little hairier. Well, at least there's a big gap behind us, because the moment doesn't mean that you have to lose your current points. And I hope for both of your sake that you don't. It's both good laps. Samurai's really struggling though. I think that's purely car choice. You're kind of taking an automatic L here and automatic strong weak previous one that I'm on, being nearly completely different tracks. Lord Hands getting past here. Brake pretty nicely. Yeah, and a final lap. And Turdy will go through and parade by himself for P1. Ethan will finish P2. Senna finishes P3. Turdy's got a nice lonely lap around as he maybe he'll get that next week as well as he drives off into the Drivers' Championship. Cockhouse P4, MDim at P5, Racing P6, Clouds in the SLS, P7 after a 2-stopper. Lord Hands, there was I didn't see an incident, but y'all look alright. Lord Hands P8, Name in P9, Samurai's P10. And Organic P11, Schumacher P12, and the Munkin in P13. Ah, hairpin before last chicane. I messed up. Ah, I see. That's an unfortunate kind of tap as well, because it really threw you off the apex. That's not what you want to happen, but no, fair play, fair sportsmanship there. You have enough space behind you anyway, so it didn't really matter in the end. But good on to Name for correcting the mistake. Absolute gentleman indeed. So that'll be the end of this race, and I think just for celebratory reasons, we'll watch Turdy mess up. Don't see a lot of that this season, so fastest lap and a win for Turdy, another win, and that'll be. Gotta find stewards here. Yeah, Turdy. Crawled home with no fuel and nobody behind you, so no crying. You're fine. It's just a long lap because you have to do it, even though it really doesn't matter. So I'm curious why they make you complete the lap if nobody else is even on a lap. That's silly. I guess that's how it works anyway, but, right. So, Turdy, P1. A double win today. Also, congratulations on that. That's massive. Doing the last to first challenge there and doing it very, very convincingly. A little swerving, a little having a good time there. You weren't even on low fuel. What are you talking about? Fastest lap there as well, so that is and pole. So that's actually who had the fastest lap in the sprint? Yeah, lost to first wasn't too fucking hard for him apparently. He did that. Fastest lap, pole. If he gets this fastest lap, then he's. You seriously? Are you fucking kidding me, man? Jesus Christ, man. Well done. Absolute congratulations. That's massive. Perfect week. That is an actual perfect week from Turdy. Congratulations. That's massive. I hope you got a shout out for that somewhere. We'll make sure that happens. I'll make sure that happens at some point. That was a perfect week. Pole, sprint win, fastest lap, feature win, fastest lap. That is the most points you can get, period, and that is huge. Congratulations. I sound like I'm congratulating you on a bleeding Drivers' Championship, but here we are. That is also fourth win of the season. He has 43 points up on Skittles, or Samurais, in the Ford. Pretty rough week, to be fair, for that car. And as Jen's note in the pre-steward standings, the only way Skittles could beat Turdy at this point is a perfect result, and Turdy doesn't score anything, so do not get sick tomorrow. Although if I was in that situation and I was as sick as I was on Monday, I'd probably be finding my way into the race somehow. Gotta get that point. So yeah, we'll just go quickly through the standings. Turdy obviously P1 at 216 points. and a perfect week 7. Skittles in P2, back 43 points. Does have a very, very small chance, but a chance nonetheless for Drivers' Championship. Quackhouse in P3, 23 points back on Skittles. Name in P4 in the M6, 22 points back on him. Clouds in P5, Doomgun slash Senna P6, Mdemit P7, Lord Hands P8, Reese P9, Schumacher P10, Munkin P11, Point slash HK in P12. I think after, yeah, unfortunate DNF today, that kind of messed up his points a little bit there. And Ethan, all of a sudden, from not being in the league at all into fifth, first, third, and second for his first 4 parts of his ALR career. So, one to watch there for sure. Inorganic in P15. Oh, what numbers are all messed up, so I hope I got that right. Going into the final week for constructors, we have the Porsche 911 team in P1 with 314 points. P2 is SLS with 271, and McLaren 650S in P3 with 228 points, followed by the M6 team in P4 at 198, Ford LM Spec 2 team, and that's going to consist of Skittles and Skittles? I think he's the only one. I don't know. Skittles. Really it? Yeah, no, he's the only one on the team. So P5 on his own. And the other Ford team in P6, P7 for Audi R8, P8 for the Mazdas. Obviously, a bit of changes there in the drivers. So Subaru P9 and the GTR P10. Thank you so much. It is just Skittles. Skittles. No, of course. Thank you for joining me. No, she's fine. She's grand. I think she'll just be glad that I'm off comms finally. So we have to clean the house, and I have to do 500,000 things. Thank you all for joining. It's been a pleasure. I hope I'm definitely going to do comms for somebody next season. I'll probably be doing it for y'all, whatever the tier situation is. But thank you again. It's great to have you. Thanks for sticking around for two races and not complaining too much for me taking a while on that. Thank you again. Cheers and good luck tomorrow to everybody. Final week, and I know there's not a lot at stake for drivers, but good luck to everybody else for finishing positions. And yeah, thanks again. Cheers. Bye. Peace.